So, Ant, you gave me some footage of the urban surf wave pool that you filmed down there.
Yeah.
And you brought it to my attention because you said there's a lot of carnage happening in the water.
Yeah.
Where some guys have no idea and they just nose diving, they can't make the pop up. And then the whole sort of energy in the water is just about like stress.
Yeah.
Okay, where you found the pop up pretty easy.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it at all. I thought it was, once you've done it once, it was just like, okay, rinse and repeat that. So yeah, I'm really intrigued as to the pop up and how we can get our pop up better and what can we learn from what we're seeing here.
Great. So what we'll do, let's look at the bad, figure out what they're doing wrong, and then I want to give you 3 examples of good.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we can see what you should be doing.
Yep.
All right, so cue the bad.
Cue the fun.
Whoops. All right, next guy straight behind him. Stress paddling, man. Whoops. Wow. All right, I've almost seen enough. Right, let's look. I'm sure there's heaps of these happening all the time. Let's rewind time. All right. So the guy sees a swell coming.
Yep.
Right. And he starts paddling in the flats. So basically the wave hasn't even lifted him up yet and he's paddling ahead of it. So what's happening is he's causing anxiety and he's actually paddling in front of the wave. So he's almost going to get a bit of a late takeoff happening.
Okay.
Does that make a bit of sense?
Yep.
So that's problem number 1 is over paddling and not seeing where he's going. So basically at this point, there's no eye contact as to where he wants to go. How does the wave look? Do I need to do a bottom turn? Do I need to race?
Yeah.
All that information, it's lacking. So he's disconnected with the wave.
It almost looks like he's focused on the nose of his board there, pretty much, his eyes.
Now, look what happens as the swell comes. Look at where his feet are. They're lifting up into the air.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happening, he's actually if you zoom into this over here, his whole nose is submerged underwater. And where's he looking? At the nose under the water. So he's taken his eye off the wave and he's already starting to nosedive. Now what's happening on the back of the board, which you don't see underwater, is that the wave, it's sucking and it's lifting the tail up, causing him to further nosedive more.
Oh, okay.
Can you see that?
So it's going to flip him.
Okay. Now, to prevent that, if he leant back and did what we refer to as the Oreo biscuit, okay?
Yep.
The tail would be pushed forwards by the lifting wave.
Yeah.
Okay? Right, let's see what happens next. Now, there's stress. He's kicking, he's splashing. At that point, where's he looking? I still don't think he's made any contact with the wave. Okay.
In actual fact, I would say from looking at this, it's almost like he's got a glazed. I don't really know what he's looking at.
So he's glazed over and he's thinking. Have you ever had a conversation with someone where they're doing this? They're like, and the guy's thinking, and then they like get an answer, they come back.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about all the solutions for his problem rather than just feeling it.
Yep.
So at that point over there, I'm going to mark where I think he's looking. Round about there. Okay, so his eye contact, I think, is kind of looking more or less at that. So look at where his hand is pointing. So if
he almost hit the target.
If he was to dive into a swimming pool, you drop your chin, point your hands there, and wherever your body shows the most tension, that's where the board listens, and that's where it goes. So you can kind of see that relationship. The forward hand and the board and the gaze, everything was like, go to the red dot. So he bogs a bit of a rail and he goes down. Bang, beautiful
Style
dismount.
though, he does dismount very nicely.
Okay, now let's look at old mate over here. So where's the steepest part of that wave? It's right against the wall. It's this section over here, which means that it's easier to catch the wave where the wave is steeper. Because if the wave is steeper, it's easier to glide down a steeper wave. But if you're on the shoulder, it's way more harder to catch it. So he starts stress paddling and he's kicking. Where's he looking? There's absolutely no eye contact with what's happening down the line.
I think he's like the guy before. I don't think he really knows what he's looking at. He's just like, I've just got to paddle. I've just got to paddle.
Just paddle, 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 try catch it. So he's ramping up his energy, but there's no connection to that wave whatsoever. Now, we know from Rob Case, who's actually did scientific studies, that you can't paddle at the speed of the wave. A wave moves at about, 14 kilometers an hour?
Yeah, it all depended upon it was very dependent upon the size of the waves as to how fast the wave would be moving. So Rob's got a full chart, which is all around that. If you just type in like Rob in there, then we'll be able to find it. But
the big thing is you can't paddle at the speed of the wave. A wave travels too fast. Okay, what you can do is initiate some momentum, but the wave can lift you up, and you can slide down that wave, and probably I think at a 45-degree angle, somewhere around there, you can start to match and actually accelerate past the wave speed.
So are we using, in that situation there, are we using the wave's energy, or are we using gravity, or are we using a combination of both?
It's a combination of your initiation of your paddling speed, the steepness of the wave. So if I had to draw an angle, it's kind of like the steepness of that wave would allow you to accelerate down it, kind of like dropping into a skate ramp or snowboarding. So this guy, he's not using the steepness of the wave. He's actually at the top of the wave using paddle power.
Yep.
And what's worse, he's not even looking where he's going. Okay? So at that point, where's he looking?
Straight down.
Yep. Whoa, okay. So look at the tension in the body. So if this was an aeroplane flying, where's his wings span pointed? It's like turn left. And he's looking at this dude.
Look where you want to go.
And his body language is like lean into that guy.
Yep.
And he's almost going to try hit the guy. Unbeknown to him, it's not what he wants, but because where you look is where you go. And then the tension in your body is actually driving you towards that person. I feel sorry for the guy in front. He's just absolutely crapping himself.
Well, I've got to say, I'm sure these two are twins.
They've
got the same board, same wetsuit, and they've both got the same moustache. They look like they have to be twins.
They've even got the same takeoff. Now check out this. Because this guy has dived off so many times into a swimming pool, he understands that I got to look and I got to point and I got to dive into the water. So within that split second, he was able to look and get his body from flying into his mate to actually perform a very good dive off. So what you train is what you get, but you need to understand, you've got to look at it to be able to do that. Okay.
So let's just recap here. The big mistakes that they've made for both of them, a big looking problem.
There was a paddling in problem.
So paddling in problem.
Not tapping into the wave's energy correctly.
So a big one that you said was.
I said disconnected with the wave.
Yeah, and paddling in the flats.
Yes, and way too much paddling in the flats.
Yeah. So paddling in the flats. Then there was.
So when the wave lifted their tail, they actually got a bit like, whoa, it's picking me up, I'm nose diving. So there was a negative feeling for them when the wave started to lift them.
Which should be a positive feeling.
Correct. And then lastly, they weren't looking where they're going. And their body was under stress. And wherever you saw tension, which was a stiff arm or whatever it was, their body reacted to the stress and the tension. Okay,
cool. So let's look at the fixes.
All right, so
let's look at the fixes first. So let's bring up some pros for this.
Jump out of here. Who's the first one?
Do you want to? I think let's do it in the order of that. You would have that natural tendency for that paddling. So let's take the power first of all. The power of the wave.
Okay, so I'm going to cue. Who do we have here?
That's Nathan, Florence, John's up next.
Okay. Whoa, okay. So here's a heavy, gnarly takeoff. The guy's looking down, chin down, hands down, he's doing a dive. Okay, so...
Fair enough with that wave.
100%. But some of those are makeable.
Yeah.
But the body language, you have to look where you want to go and you have to feel it. So let's cue.
Hope that wasn't too shallow there.
Okay, look
So,
at
right.
where John is on that wave. He's not paddling up at the top. He's catching that wave at the bottom, because that's where most of the wave's energy is from.
Yeah.
Okay.
This clip for me blew my mind because he doesn't paddle.
Let's watch it first, because we're both freaking out. That is insane.
Like, what just happened? What just happened?
Okay. So if you have a look, he's paddling at the bottom of the wave.
It wasn't even a paddle.
He's hardly even paddling.
I'm holding on to the side of the chair. I'm that excited.
Do you know what? That wave has got so much lift. In other words, it's pushing the tail up so much. He's leaning back. He's arching his back. Look how high the chin is off the board. Super high. So the tail's being pushed down. So this is what we call the Oreo biscuit. John's pushing his feet down. The wave is pushing him up. And there's a mountain of energy behind him pushing him forward. So it's kind of like, an Oreo biscuit, you squeeze the top and the bottom and the cream comes out the front. So John is...
He's going to get squeezed.
Yeah, he's getting squeezed into that tube. Okay, which is incredible. Where's he looking?
From this, he's kind of he's not looking down. His chin is up.
Okay, so he's looking where he wants to go.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a massive difference between his brother. Where's he looking there? Chin up, he's connected. And the very first thing that he does...
So I'm intrigued here, and you've talked about this in the past, and that's about looking at the bottom of the wave to draw the energy. So right now, it almost looks like he's looking down, but he's actually looking at the water drawing up, isn't he? So he can see what the wave is going to do.
He's reading this line over here, thinking, how am I going to make my board fit into this almost square-looking wave?
Yeah.
Because that wave is almost a square box. It's so hollow. So he's going, okay, what line do I need to take? Imagine if you're walking down a cliff face, but there's a path that you can go down.
Yeah.
He's looking for that path.
Yep.
Okay. Where most people just look down and go, cliff.
Yeah.
And just dive over it head first, hands first. Okay. What I do like about this is the lack of tension in his body.
Yeah.
You can't see any stiff arms. Whereas the two guys previous, there was so much tension in their arms. And he's got eye contact looking at where he wants to go. So that's huge.
I can't believe how relaxed he is in surfing that shore break. That's nuts.
It's crazy. All right, let's bring up something else which I found was pretty cool.
So he was tapping it. So just very quickly with the John one there, he was tapping into the wave's energy that was drawing up at the bottom. So rather than trying to sprint paddle and ending up in the wrong place, paddling up at the top, he was using that energy at the bottom, leaning back to then push him forward. So really tapping into that wave's energy. So
that was worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But look how John focused on the technique to get him out of a heavy situation.
Yeah.
Now what's happening in the wave pools, the guys are stressing about a non-life-threatening, easy situation.
Yeah.
And they're looking at all the problems. They're looking at the guy in the wave. They're looking at the hollow sucking up.
Yeah.
They're not looking where they want to go. All right, so cue Kelly Slater at Karamis. Watch this, and I'll bring your attention to something. What a beautiful takeoff. Okay, let's go back and break this down now. Okay, so right where Kelly is, let's read the bottom of the wave.
But again, even before we go into that, his paddling was next to nothing.
Oh, there is no paddling. Look, he's going...
He waits, and one...
There's no splashing.
Two...
There's no kicking.
There was two strokes.
So 2 paddles and he can glide into that wave. Okay, because he's feeling the energy. Now look at where the steepest part of the wave is. It's down the bottom over here. A lot of water moving up.
Yep.
So the steeper the wave gets, the less paddling he needs to do. But if he was out here on the shoulder, okay, he would have to paddle a lot to catch that wave.
Yep.
He'd have to almost try and match the wave's speed and the wave's energy, which is virtually impossible to do paddling. The reason being we ride shortboards and we can't paddle the shortboard fast enough to get it planing. But as soon as you're on a steep part of the wave and the wave pushes you, your board starts to plane, and as it starts to plane, it glides, it lifts out the water, and that's your cue to stand. So you have to feel the energy and try to feel that lift and that glide. Okay, so if we go back to here...
To feel the energy, Feel the lift.
So watch this in slow-mo.
Feel the glide.
So there's the energy, there's the glide. Look and just relax. Okay, so when he takes off, soft knees, almost like a skateboarder dropping in.
So no tension again.
Yep. Look at his front arm, really relaxing behind him. You'll notice that the back arm, it looks like he's holding a cup of coffee in the hand.
Classic coffee cup.
Okay, so wherever you look and wherever you point your back hand, your coffee cup arm, that's where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Now, the other guy, he was doing airplane wings, and he was kind of looking kind of down there. Notice how Kelly's not even stressed about what's going on over there. He didn't make it an issue because he wasn't intending to go there. But in the wave pool, the guy looked at the problem and all his body language just started stiffening his arms and going towards the problem and made it an issue. Okay, so feel the energy in the wave, glide into the wave.
And then look.
That's a big one. Always, always look.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
We got a really cool clip. I'm excited about this clip. For the whole looking side of things. This guy's
all right. So
I just don't know how this guy doesn't hurt himself.
this freaks me out. Let's just watch it. So first of all, Mason Ho, look at how shallow it is. It is just, it's crazy, 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 crazy. It's dry rocks everywhere.
Let's just
Look at the reef. Look at this.
Let's just do a little bunny hop over some reefs.
Every single wave, it is incredible.
Okay.
Oh, I just, mate, look at that. do you understand what he's riding over there?
Yeah, I do,
Look
and
at
I
that.
don't. But I don't understand why.
There's a dry rock just sticking out over there. Okay, look at, it's like he's pushing a shopping trolley through the barrel. Look at his energy in the body going, this is where you're going. He's not focusing on the rocks. He doesn't want to hit the rocks. Let's break this down.
Oh, the one thing I will say here is how do you not focus on the rocks when you know that the rocks are right there?
Because...
No, so I'm just going to play devil's advocate a little bit here.
Go for it.
In the last two, John and Kelly, they didn't really paddle. Mason paddles like a crazy man to get into these waves. So
Yeah.
so why is that?
All right, let me show you something.
Apart from the fact there's a great big dry reef in front of him.
Try to look at this wave. We're going to study the wave a bit better, all right? Let's go to here. So there's the top of the wave, which is, let's do that. Top of the wave, which is that. And there's the bottom of the wave, which is kind of over here. Now, read the bottom, and can you see that it looks like the power zone is there?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, it almost looks like the wave does this, and then there's a second little top piece on that wave.
Okay.
It looks like there's a ridge running through on that line.
Yep.
Okay, so he's trying as hard as he can to get over that ridge and to get into this power source, which is this.
Okay.
Okay, does that make a bit of sense?
That does make sense. And obviously that kind of wave knowledge comes from experience. And,
So-
and I'm assuming he's surfaced wave a lot of times.
If he was a little closer in, he wouldn't have to paddle nearly as much.
But if he's a little bit closer in, he'd probably be on the rocks.
He wouldn't have enough time to make the takeoff, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you also have a look, the water over here moves fairly slowly. But the water over here moves really, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So when he takes off, by taking off from the bottom half of the wave where the water's drawing up and getting a bit steeper, okay, it allows him more time to catch the wave and to stand up. But if you had to try catch the wave on this top zone over here, as opposed to the bottom zone, the bottom part of the wave gives you more time to glide in and stand up. The top part throws quicker because it's got gravity behind it.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening?
And if I'm right from listening to Rob Case, the top part of the wave is faster moving than the bottom part. Is that right? Because it throws quicker.
The bottom's slowing down.
Yeah.
So it's a big circle of swell, and what actually happens is the bottom draws water up, the top throws water down. Now, as it hits a shallow reef, the bottom almost stops. So this area over here wants to stop, and the top wants to throw.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
So what's happening is the bottom's slowing down, and the top's accelerating, which causes it to barrel.
Which is the reason why it's harder to take off up in the lip and the reason why people get thrown over the falls.
Okay, so that's why on John clip, John made the barrel. He took off on the bottom of the wave.
Yeah.
And his brother, I think it was Ivan, took off on the top and he got pitched. Couldn't get to his feet quick enough.
Yeah, Nathan,
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay, that's a bit of a light bulb moment there. So
now he's gliding and he's into that bubble. Where's he looking? Let's zoom into this a little bit of here.
he's looking down the line where else he wants to go.
Is there any tension in his body?
No.
He looks like a sprinter about to start a 100-meter sprint.
Yep.
Okay. Now remember, John had a coffee cup on. Kelly Slater had a coffee cup on. Let's see what technique he's going to use here. So he takes off the back arm. There it is.
Oh,
coffee cup.
He got his coffee up. He got his coffee out early.
Okay. Now, is he standing on his front foot or his back foot?
Front foot.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they take off, they stand flat on their board. By standing with your weight forward, you're like a sprinter initiating a run. A lot of people at the wave pool, they stand up flat. Okay, so they're not telling the surfboard what they want the surfboard to do. So they're just being a passenger, and then the bottom drops out, or the wave knocks them from the back, and they get wobbly and off balance.
Okay, I think a question that comes in there then is if you're standing on the front foot, I'll be worried about nose diving there then.
You got nose rocker. Your board is designed to fit into that curve of the wave. Okay. Your job is to pick your line. So let's look at the coordination. His knees are pointing forward like a sprinter.
Yep.
Right? The hands pointing forward. He's looking forward. His board's going forward. Everything is coordinated into driving forward in that barrel.
Yep.
There's a lot of surfers at the wave pool who are standing side on like crabs. He is front on. His chest is facing forward. His knees are facing forward. Everything is pointing towards the nose of the board and where he wants to go. Right. That there is huge for barrel riding and just hand-eye coordination.
Right.
Super, super, super important. Right. And then once he's made the drop, a little bit of a pump. Still, look at the coffee cup arm.
Yeah, it's right out in
Look
front.
at how still the right hand is. So think about this. When you ride a bicycle, your hands steer and they don't move much. And it's the knees that do the pedaling. So here, his knees are compressing and extending, but the hands are quiet. Now, a lot of guys, when they surf, the legs are locked and the hands are going all over the place. It's kind of like a kid learning how to ride a bicycle. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Barrel. Watch when he comes out. Let's see what the hands are doing.
A coffee cup.
Look at this. Look at the hands. So he's almost got a bicycle handlebar.
Yeah.
Do you know why? There's so many rocks, and he's trying to navigate and steer his way around those rocks and pick a line. Because, yeah, it's a dangerous, gnarly situation, but my gosh, he's doing well. Look, wipes the hair out of his eyes, but the right coffee cup hand, it is so level. He doesn't move his hands.
Can you just go back a minute? So was there a reason? Like I'm not. Maybe I'm overanalyzing this. If we go back, notice. So his hand, we can see the palm of his hand.
Yep.
Is that because of these rocks that are coming up here?
100%.
Was he trying to like steer away from them?
Okay, well, let's have a look.
You can almost see like these microscopic movements of his hands.
Well spotted. That was epic. All right, so right there he's flat and he's at the bottom of the wave. Now there's rocks down here. So he needs to lean. If you ride a bicycle, right, you'd lean. So when the hands do that...
He starts to track up the wave.
Correct. Okay, so that hand is making him go more on the toe edge. It's engaging more of the toe rail, yeah. Same as if you ride a bicycle, your hands would do that. Or if you flew, the hands would do that.
Oh, points for me for spotting that one.
Yep, and then out the back. That was epic.
There's another one. Look at that drop!
Big twist.
So just very quickly, can we? So obviously that was a late drop. What was the difference? So he was almost caught in the top lip there, that bit that throws.
Yeah. So again, the big bubble of energy was, I'd say, down there, and he's almost on the top half, like 10 centimeters further up that wave. He was getting pitched over the falls. Okay, so he he actually took off very, very late. He needed to be kind of knifing in and driving that way to get into it. So he did really well to stick this. It's a big... Now, because it's so steep, he has to go tail first. Otherwise he'd nosedive.
Yeah.
Because he's going at the wrong angle. So he pushes the back foot down, tail first. And now, because he went tail first, he's on the back foot. So he can't get the front foot toe edge, so he needs to twist, engage the fins and turn the board. So there's the back foot twist.
That's a pretty harsh twist as well.
And then you'll probably see him 2 hands pushing the trolley through the barrel. There's the coffee cup hand, hardly moving. And see how he turns.
His coffee cup.
Watch that wrist turn sideways in the barrel to engage his toe edge more. There. See that?
Twisty wrist.
Then it goes flat, and then 2 hands. I need more toe edge in because it's getting steeper. And there's rocks coming. So hand angle changes. And then to get out of that, all he does is he straightens his back. There's the pop. Boom.
Does a little chop up onto rocks.
Okay, so
let's because we've covered quite a lot of ground there.
I'm interested. Let's just get another guy in the wave pool, because what we saw was a lot of right arm leading. In other words, the backhand with Slater, all of those guys was leading. Let's watch Joe Average.
I know from this clip, we've got a really good example. Not this guy coming up now, but we got a really good example of somebody paddling, not tapping into the power zone at all.
Did you see Kelly, John, or Mason Ho kicking on their waves?
I'm gonna say I saw Mason Ho kicking.
Okay, so this guy is
and I questioned you on that though.
Frantically kicking. Where's he looking? At that stage, hardly nowhere.
Yeah.
He's just thinking, paddle, stand.
Yeah.
There's no connection to the wave.
Yeah.
Okay. So he stands up. Where's his hands pointing? So he's almost bent his back.
Yeah.
And the hands are low.
Yeah, I can see now the big difference, the real bent versus all the other guys that we've watched, which would be that compression of the knees.
And he's looking down. He's actually so lucky he never fell off over there. Now, what are his hands saying? So there, he's got a coffee cup up and it's forward.
Yeah.
But can you see he's heavy on the back foot?
Yeah.
Where maybe Mason was more front foot, getting more speed and more drive.
Yeah. So this next guy, he missed 2 waves.
So where's he looking?
He's looking down, but he's also not using that power at all. He's just paddling.
So can you see the nose? Because his chin is so low and he's not doing the Oreo
and his feet are up.
The tails lift, the wave's lifting the tail up, causing him to nosedive. If he leaned back, that wave would actually push him forwards. Right? Not looking. Mr. Really easy ride. Bodyboarding guy. I love the way he fades deeper on the takeoff and he's looking. Eyes up, hands up, leaning onto the rail. If you look at the hand positioning, he's almost doing, even though he's on a bodyboard, he's doing the Mason Ho angle of the hands.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see that technique is working for him. And let's have a look at this. Whoa, okay, so look at the coffee cup arm. Watch it how it swings back. And it swings forward. Can you see the tension in the arms?
Yeah.
Where Mason's arms were hardly moving.
Mm.
So if this lady just stood there and just held a cup of coffee, she'd have this perfect line. And then wherever you want to go, just look and point.
Yep.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right, so let's recap on that.
Yeah, so the 3 things that you need to do to improve, because you said there was going to be 3 things. So one was using the wave's power.
And that bottom part of the wave,
so that bottom part of the
water
wave
draws up, that will allow you to feel the energy.
Yep.
Now people freak out about that. You've got to relax and lean back. A lot of people make the mistake of putting their chin down and ramping up the paddle.
Yeah.
You actually got to allow the wave to push you into it.
Yeah. So you want to use that wave's energy, the bottom, and feel that lift.
Correct. That's the wave talking to you, going, let's go.
Then we want to initiate a glide. So once we've got that lift, we then glide. So we use Oreo.
So that's, again, pushing up, leaning back, but more importantly, connecting with the wave and looking where you want to go.
Okay, so which was the third thing, which was look where you want to go. I think the little bonus within this is that body positioning as well.
Yeah, so
that alignment of the body.
I would say look with your body language, not just with the eyes. All of the pros move less, but they deliberate in their movements. When they want to go somewhere, they look and they go, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Whereas the intermediates, they've got too many moving parts,
Yeah.
and they don't look where they're going, and their body's sending too many mixed signals to the board. The only thing they do look at really well is the negative part of the wave. Like, oh, steep takeoff, oh, someone in the way. And then they just coordinate all the energy to the negative.
Yep.
So,
and there was one other thing that you said in there. So really, there's just 5 tips. Was relax the body. Don't hold that tension. Go relax the body and look where you want to go.
So if you look at the wave pool, there's not a lot of danger there compared to what John was riding, that crazy short break, or Mason Ho on sharp, jagged reef, or Kelly Slater at Karamas also surfing over reef. They're all gliding in, but applying the right techniques.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
It's a cool little breakdown.
Yeah, learned heaps.